Okay guys, so how much is going to be the next lesson? How much are we going to need to first start off our ATM business, okay? So I do get this question asked a lot because the prices range and it just all depends on which route you want to go to. There's just so many variables and moving parts in this situation. So I'm going to give you a couple of stuff that we do need in order to start our ATM business, okay? So the first one's going to be the machine. Obviously, how we're going to need an ATM machine. How much do they usually cost? When I first started into this business, I honestly thought that an ATM was going to cost between 10 to 20 grand, right? I would see these huge ATMs that I would see at these local banks or at the malls or whatever the case is, but that's not the actual issue. An ATM can range you anywhere between $2,200 all the way up to $2,800, depending on the place, the manufacturer that you buy it from, the brand, and also the different types of gadgets and stuff that this ATM has. Okay, so on average between $2,200 and $2,800. The second thing is going to be the connection, right? As you could if you remember from the last couple modules on how the ATM worked, the ATM has to send a signal, has to go and get an internet connection to make sure that that person that's taking money out has enough money in their bank. So they have to verify that they have enough funds so they can go ahead and issue the $20 to Jimmy, right? So you can go different ways. You can go and get a router, okay, where you can have wireless internet in your ATM, okay? This is the way I recommend you to do because for one, this is going to be your internet. You know exactly what's going on if it goes down, whatever the case is. You're not depending on other people. Now, a router runs you anywhere between $80 to $100. Could be sometimes cheaper, sometimes a little bit more expensive. Like I said, depending on which brands you get, where you buy them, and so forth, all right? If you do go this route, you are going to have to pay a monthly charge of around $20, right? $25. And that's just basically you using the internet service for your router, okay? Second way is going to be using the Wi-Fi internet connection from the store owner, okay? So wherever you have that ATM placed, if that store has, that company has Wi-Fi, right? You can actually use their internet connection for your ATM. But again, this goes back to some risks that are involved. What if the store owner's Wi-Fi goes down, right? Electricity, something happens that goes down, you're not able to use it, right? So now you have an actual problem. I don't physically like to depend on other people. So I personally go getting my own router with my own internet service, and paying the extra, but that makes me sleep a lot more comfortable at night, all right? So these are the two different ways on how do you get the connection. The third one's going to be the cold hard cash, the money that we are physically going to put inside the ATM that people are going to be taking money out, okay? So different ways on going about this, okay? You can actually go and get armored trucks where they can fill you up, but of course that's going to be a fee. Really not the best situation, the best case if you're starting off, because for one, you're going to need all that money that comes in for you. You don't want to start giving it away, right? Until you start building that. I actually saved up a little bit more money so I can put my own cash in the ATM. And this can range, right? You can put however much you want, how very little you want, or how much, or how a lot you want to put, right? I know that's not the right phrase, but that's what's coming to me. Okay? Between 200 to 2,000 would be a good start. Me personally, I do not put anything under $1,000 in that ATM, okay? Somebody can go and take out $200 every transaction, for example. That's already 5 people, which means your ATM is already empty, meaning you have to go back and fill it up more frequently. The more money you have in there, the less frequent, the less time that you have to go and fill it up, all right? I personally didn't put, my first ATM, I put in about $1,500, which is a good start, and we'll get into that on why we should do this in the next coming modules up here, but that's going to be another expense for you putting cold hard cash in the ATM. And the third one's going to be the LLC, Limited Liability Company Corporation, where you have to establish an LLC for your company, okay? Now, the place that I did it to, I did it myself. I just had to pay my state fees here. I didn't have to pay anybody to build it, and we'll get a little bit into that as well in the next coming module, so you can see exactly how and why we do this stuff. But that ranges about $300, right? If you do it yourself. So these are basically one of the couple stuff that you will have to pay for. So the last module where we were going over on how to raise capital, how much money you save. This is what we're going to be spending in the beginning. Now, this looks like a lot, but if you really put it into perspective and you wanted to start another business, right? Let's say you want to start a brick and mortar pizza shop, right? That is a lot more expensive, where you have to get the location, the business, the supplies, the food, right? Employees, all these different types of stuff compared to starting a business like this where it's a lot cheaper, okay? So just a couple stuff right here. How much does it cost? Kind of give you a good idea on how much you have to save up. I would say a good between $3,000 up to $5,000 is how much we want to save to buy our first ATM and get everything up and running.